If you allow or if you strive to take Swadhisthana above its natural compulsions, the technology of God-making came from this, that you have found a Tantra to release the self from these kind of troubles. Swadhisthana means the abode of the self. When Swadhisthana sadhana is done, it gives you a certain freedom, because the biggest bondage is in the way we are reproduced, and the biggest urge is the way the urge for reproduction binds people in body, mind and emotion. So Swatantra means Swadhisthana and Swatantra connected, that you have found a Tantra to release the self from these kind of troubles or these kind of compulsions, because now your self is totally free. One of the important aspects of Swadhisthana is, if your Swadhisthana is established in a certain way, your ability to create. At the lowest level, it's purely reproductive. At the highest level, you can create a god if you wish. The technology of God-making came from this, because somebody has absolute control over the Swadhisthana, and one can establish what is considered a divine entity. Of all the things that we can do in this system, Swadhisthana is among the most complex and beautiful way of doing things, but it is also personally a dangerous way of doing things, because if you do too much of it, you may have yourself, but you may lose your body. Only if all the other dimensions are on, one can deliver a god. You can deliver a god and still live and still maintain potency only if all the other six are equally active. Only then one can do this. Well, somebody delivered us, that is also important. We are not saying that is not important, that is also important, that's why we are sitting here. But the highest level of delivery would be delivering a divine entity. So one dimension of Swadhisthana is also this, that if you allow or if you strive to take Swadhisthana above its natural compulsions, which are essentially regenerative. You must understand this. Whatever is referred to as sexuality is not about sexuality. Nature is instigating you to reproduce. In modern societies, people have made it out as if it has a purpose of its own. Yes, people are using it to bind themselves to each other, but fundamentally the longing in the body is to reproduce. If this was not there, we wouldn't be here today. But if you're wanting to go somewhere else other than being a cycle of life, other than being a natural cycle of life, if you want to go beyond the cycle, then transcending these dimensions become important.
Swadhisthana means where your being is established. Swa means self and adhishthana means established or abode. It is the second primary chakra above muladhara, also known as sacral chakra, and is located in the lower abdomen near the sacrum along the susumna nadi. The Swadhisthana chakra rules our emotions, creativity and purity. The positive qualities of this chakra brings joy, faith and energy to our lives. Swadhisthana is associated with water element, which implies a flow. Water is also associated with emotions. Just as water quenches thirst, emotions nourishes our soul and quench our thirst to expand into someone else. The glands of Swadhisthana are the sex glands, that is, testes in male and ovaries in female. Now, in both men and women, the gonads bring emotional equilibrium or emotional stability and help build a healthy relationship and healthy personality. However, in sexually suppressed person, the positive qualities of this chakra is also suppressed. It brings inflexibility, stiffening, and sexual perversion. The Swadhisthana is very sensitive chakra and immediately loses its balance in the face of stress or sexual abuse. The vital breath or impulse in Swadhisthana is prana vayu or the efferent impulse. Health issues associated with Swadhisthana chakra all involve the reproductive and urinary system, which include sexual dysfunction, lower back pain, joint pain, loss of sensual desire or pleasure, all the itis disease like arthritis. The Swadhisthana is the significator or karaka of all healthy and unhealthy relationships. The chakra's positive functioning is expressed in a healthy and understanding relationship, while the negative expression is emotional reaction and emotional attachment. Our identity is based on how we think the opposite sex sees us. This is manifested by the negative side of Swadhisthana chakra, stimulating jealousy, envy, rage, prejudices, resentment, self-denial, fear of change, lack of social skills, lack of desire, and no creativity. The Swadhisthana chakra has wide extremes and can lead to excesses. Addiction to sex, romance, shopping, seductive manipulation, obsessive attachment are some examples. A balanced Swadhisthana chakra brings joy in relationship and friends, satisfaction, compassion, sexual expression, and a feeling of oneness with others. Now let us see the physical attributes of Swadhisthana. Swadhisthana is illustrated as white lotus, that is Nilambo nucifera. It has 6 vermilion-colored petals inscribed with syllables like Bam, Bham, Mam, Yam, Ram, Lam in clockwise order. Now these 6 sounds are more than just vibrations. They carry significant meanings within the Swadhisthana chakra's realm. They give the impression of petals or spokes and represent the 6 vrittis to be overcome. The letters and corresponding vrittis are Bam, indulgence, Bham, absence of empathy, Mam, destructiveness or possessiveness, Yam, delusion, Ram, disdain or avagana, and Lam, that is suspicion. Within the lotus is a watery region depicted by half moon. Now, water is the element of Swadhisthana chakra. This is the region of Varuna, the lord of oceans. We see him seated atop his vehicle, that is the crocodile. The crocodile is that which swims through life. It signifies those emotions which causes us become short-tempered and snappy. In the lower levels of consciousness, these are hidden negative emotions between the conscious and the subconscious mind. So in the highest state of consciousness, it signifies the ability to balance the duality of conscious and subconscious mind. We have seen that the primary emotion or driving force in Swadhisthana chakra is kama or desire. Now in the picture, we can see that Varuna has a lasso or pasha in his hand, signifying the ability to bind desire and to control it. It represents the power to bind the enemies of greed, lobha, desire, kama, anger, krodha, infatuation, moha, jealousy, matsya, and ego intoxication, that is mada. In the other hand, Varuna holds a vessel filled with porous gems. Now the seed mantra located in the innermost circle is the moon white vow. Above the mantra, that is within the bindu or dot, is the Deity Vishnu. Even though he is depicted as being on the side, within the bija mantra sits Vishnu as Hari, the one who kills the negativities, the one who cuts off the roots of karma. Hari also means yellow, and we can see that even though his body is a luminous blue, he wears yellow clothing. He is four-armed, holding Sudarshan chakra, the mace, lotus, and conch shell in each hand. He wears a beautiful garland with a Kaustubha gem in the center, which symbolizes consciousness and shines like 1,000 suns. Just above the Kaustubha is a beautiful curl of hairs called the Sri Vatsa, which shines like 10,000 moons. It reminds the seeker that as he rises in his consciousness, he must learn to balance it with its reflection or Prakriti. On Vishnu, conch shell, which he holds in one of his hands, gives total control over the five elements. On the other hand, Lord Vishnu holds Sudarshan chakra, which is the weapon of Lord Vishnu. He has used the Sudarshan chakra to reach a stage that whatever he observes becomes auspicious. It destroys the ego and all its negative manifestations. Next thing that we can see in Lord Vishnu's image, that he is often depicted in the Yoga Nidra position with a lotus growing out of his navel, which is why he is known as Padmanabh or lotus naveled. The lotus represents the fruit of Yoga Nidra. The lotus, even though it rises from mud, is a symbol of divine beauty and purity. The unfolding petals signifies the expansion of consciousness, releasing the energy of creativity or Brahma. The lotus also symbolizes the divinities or potency and wealth as depicted by Lakshmi. The fourth object that Deity Vishnu holds is mace or gada. The name of Vishnu's mace is Kaudaki. It is one of the oldest and strongest weapons and symbolizes both strength and power. This reflects that on the opening of the higher qualities of Swadhisthana chakra, one is endowed with the power to use words to bring happiness and joy to someone. Now, let us look at the Shakti or power of chakra called Rakini, who sits on the other side of the Bija Mantra Vang. The Rakini is of color of blue lotus and her beauty is enhanced by her raised forearms. Each of them holds various weapons, a trident, trishul, lotus, drum and vajra or lightning. Now Shakti Rakini is a consciously created afferent impulse to pause the negative manifestations and emotions of Swadhisthana chakra, the main being desire or kama. In one of her hands, she holds the three-pronged spear called Trishul. This shows that by rising above the negative qualities of Swadhisthana, we can awaken the power to balance the three main nadis, that is Ida, Pingala and Shukshmana. We have already seen the symbology of lotus in the above section of Lord Vishnu. Now in the other hand, she holds a small drum called Damaru. It represents the rhythm of creation. Here we can see that the Shakti comes rhythm, the balance and harmony in the body and mind. In her fourth hand, Devi Rakini holds a bolt of lightning or Vajra. As we see in consciousness or spiritual path, we experience consciousness as sudden flashes of illumination in understanding, in perception and in experience. Now with the opening of Shakti of the Swadhisthana chakra, there is an illumination of consciousness. All lightning is followed by the loud clap of thunder. Sound is the quality of ether or Akash Tattva. So with the illumination of consciousness, there is an experience of dissolving into the inner sky. Now, Swadhisthana chakra controls the sex act. Let us look at some of the negative manifestations of blocked chakra. Now the first and most important is obstinacy. That is, people can be very inflexible. Another characteristic is stiff muscles. Building muscles beyond a point make them lose their suppleness, creating blockages in their sex center. Another negative emotion connected to blockage in the sex center is extreme jealousy and possessiveness. The most extreme is sexual perversion. Sex can be a very reverential and prayerful act, but a blocked sex center leads to a wild sex and perversion. At the same time, as noted previously, this chakra gives us the capacity to enjoy sex in a very beautiful way, free of aggression and with a great softness, while also awakening and the higher aspects of the Swadhisthana chakra. Now the mantra of Swadhisthana chakra is Vam. This means to vomit or to ejaculate. In all reaction, we vomit negativity outside. Through this mantra, we control and become free of this automatic tendency. While saying this mantra or even while practicing the Omkar at the time of Makara or humming, we shape the lips in a circle as if we are going into a tube. We will feel the lips vibrating. Now this posture awakens the Shakti of Swadhisthana chakra. If we practice this every morning and then in the daytime, When we are reacting in the 6 vrittis of this chakra, we will be able to pause and bring in consciousness quite easily. Another way to help activate the positive aspects of Swadhisthana chakra is to meditate upon the reflection of the moon in still water, that is a lake or a river. Now hope you enjoyed the exploration of Swadhisthana chakra, and if you loved the video, do not forget to give it a like, share and subscribe. Up to next, stay safe, healthy, happy and namaskar.